And I think we are live. Are we? There we go. Yes, we are. Good evening. This is Andre Sanders down here in Jacksonville, Florida, of Overcoming the Odds. And this is going to be a pretty cool one as far as mastering your time management for success. Uh, yes, we'll be hanging around, obviously talking about business, and you're a home-based business profession or entrepreneur in general. But at the same time, we want to give you just some examples as well, just to help prioritize your time a little bit better. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Just wanted to share out some experiences that we've gotten from people that we've been paying attention in the profession. But without any other further ado, let's go take it out to California. It's some other business partner to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. I am Patricia Henry, and it's great to be here on this Friday afternoon with everybody. As Andre mentioned, he's out in Florida and I'm in California. So we have this wonderful subject called time management. And as you see, I want you to have a notepad, which I have, and a pen because we're going to share some things with you that you can use. Practical value, practical suggestions for time management. Personally, it is hard. Let's face it, it's hard. And that's why we are bringing up this subject again, because we're entrepreneurs. And we know that if we don't organize our time and we don't take time management seriously, our time can actually run away from us. So that's why this is such an important topic to implement into your business.
Yep, that is so true. The reason why, too, what we also mentioned as far as, there is no right or wrong way, because some people are either more effective in the mornings or some people are more effective in evening times. It's your choice. Like I know, especially in home-based business, we're always told a lot, listen to people of success, listen to audios, read the books of successful people, or, and it depends on what your how you choose as far as what time of the day you want to do it. You can do it in the mornings or in the evenings. It's your choice. Personally, I'm a person that loves to do a lot of my a lot of my activities in the evening, just to really just get that stuff out of the way too. And as far as some people might talk about sleep or whatever. We're going to get into that too a little bit as far as the health, whatever. You have to find, for number one, you have to know exactly what it is that you want. And if you don't know, just something that you have a love for, something you have a real strong love or passion for. That's how you can better help identify your purpose. As Napoleon Hill mentioned, thinking rich, having a definite major purpose, something that's going to help drive you. That's going to help you to, maybe get up early or maybe stay up late in the evenings because you just want to get that, that purpose, that drive. You want to get it done out of the way. I know as far as in business, the main things that you be able to concentrate on as entrepreneurs is making a list of, the income producing activities. Trust me, it's easy as far as getting distracted and stuff. As far as saying, like I know personally, I used to be in the offline home-based business world. I used to think, scrolling through Facebook, whatever, was actually doing work. Nah, it should have been picking up the phones, connecting with people, meeting them, trying to get the numbers or whatever, and get if you're in that type of field as far as offline home-based business. You can still get that same trap in the online world as far as scrolling to social media, getting caught up and not really doing anything. Maybe putting out some type of content for some people to follow you. Talking to people is great, but it's nothing wrong with also going to the forum method. And we know that as far as, again, entrepreneurs, as far as forums, especially in home-based business, as far as finding out family, occupation, recreation, or money or motivation. So something else to keep in mind too, as far as income producing activities, make a list of those because what you should do, whatever company you're part of, as far as okay, what's going to help me do just that, produce the money. So keep that in mind for as far as like okay, when I had this list, and this is what's going to take me to get to this certain income. Though, and again, we're not going to guarantee you anything, so obviously, see income disclaimer below. But obviously you're serious as far as what you're trying to get after. The results can be possible for you. It's what you choose to make of it. Another thing to keep in mind is find a time that suits your schedule. I mentioned this earlier. Some people are morning people. They want to get up early in the mornings. They like maybe go work out early in the mornings. That's fine. To each their own. They like to read early in the mornings. take a shower early in the mornings. Personally, that makes me grumpier. That's all I take showers in the evenings and afternoons, unless I'm done working out. That's a different story. So again, you got to find time to okay, what suits me suits you, because we know if you're watching this, you might be the busy person. We are understandable. You literally have that good strong hour in your day, and guess what? You can still get a lot of work done within that 1 hour of your day. So can't go with the word as far as I can't find the time. That's not the right uses of words. It's how can I find the time? Or how can I make the time for your purpose? How important are your dreams? How important are your dreams to you? Obviously, if it's something that you're still kind of pushing the back, then maybe it's not a strong enough purpose. I don't know. Just kind of throwing it out there. Another thing to keep in mind too, as far as time needs to be laser focused. No distractions. Sometimes I don't know how many people we know, especially in our community, that are pretty much be like, there's all this stuff here on social media, whatever, and they literally will shut everything down. As far as they either shut it down or they'll have it listed up. And this is something I caught from a trainer, from a training, I think a couple years ago, from Tracy Walker, who was one of our 7-figure earners within our community. Again, see our income disclaimer below. But when she actually was getting ready to really get to work, she would have, perfect example, let's see if I can, I will share what I have. She would do something like this with her tabs. And this is pretty cool. She would have, let's say, this tab open for Facebook, this maybe for this picture, this was for YouTube, maybe another tab for your emails, and then there's several other tabs as far as maybe the post, a blog or whatever. And she would just go take one, boom, she would go to this one tab, fill out information. Once she's done with that, she was done. She'd go to the next tab, get to work here too, boom, go to the next tab, boom, get done with that, and then boom, go to another one. And I'm sharing that example because that's one way to go and get your work done. As far as just taking that massive action, just attacking it just like that. Some people would rather just have everything just completely shut off as far as notifications, whatever. I'm not too sure, and Patricia, you might know this better. I'm not too sure if we have another leader, Lawrence Tam. He does something similar to this as far as on Facebook, as far as shutting off. I don't want to say shut off timeline. I don't know if it was something that he did to completely have the timeline clear so he can get his work done. So he want to be distracted. I'm not too sure what he did as far as that. Some people just go and simply unfollow.
Well, I think I know another teammate. She did a thing about it says you can kill the news feed. I think you can Google it and it'll show you how to kill the news feed on Facebook. So that is something that I kind of watched her video and I think I bookmarked it. But yes, you can do that because, let's face it, all the social media platforms are time wasters. I'm guilty of that, because I want to get on there for, 15 minutes, a 15-minute time before I know an hour's gone by and I'm still on Facebook because I was messaging people or whatever. But then you get on there you're on there. If you're on there, go on there to message a few people, obviously, that if they've messaged you or whatever, and for a reason, and catching up with friends, with family, okay, that's fine. But then just completely turn off the chat, turn off everything, and go do your work that you have to do on Facebook. Nothing else. If you do have to post, or if you want to do something, because I have several pages there that I'm looking for material to post. I don't post my original stuff, but I will post other people's things so that I can get eyeballs onto my pages or in my groups. Of course, that's original material that I put on there for them. But just focus on your work, like you said. That's it, and have those tabs open. That's a good idea. That's what I do. I have different tabs open, and go prioritize it. Make it 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 or 1 to 10. Get those done and close each tab so you don't have to go back. Make sure you do complete it. And then, or like this says, one of the suggestions was set a time frame. If you need to give yourself an hour for each task, do that and close it And if you don't finish it, of course, if it's something that's really important, make 3 things that are important that you want to get done that day. And then just close them out. And the other unnecessary things, definitely just close those out or put them on the back burner for the next day or whenever you can get to them. So, yeah, but that's it. Just, I think, let me see if I could find that. I'm going to go to Google and see if I can see if there is an article about that, which would say, kill the Facebook news feed. So hold on.
That's fine. While you're looking for that, too, this is something else too that I know I like to do. If let's say social media platforms, maybe Instagram, Twitter, Google Plus, Facebook. I'm like it's not. What's the phrase for it? Funny phrase for it? There's no funny phrase for it. When some people might be like just scrolling through the times, whatever. This will always catches my eye, and I got to give a shout out to somebody as well. Let me see if I can share this. Boom, here we go. Got to give a shout out to another business partner of ours, Sarita. She lives out there in Australia, who's a 6-figure earner within our community. But attention to what some leaders at the post, like this right here. Love these motivational quotes. What do I do when I see something like this? Oh, I just go and let's see. I just go and simply do this. Download it. I save it for myself. Why? Because I'm going to use that later on for my content. So that's something else to keep in mind as far as, another little technique that you could use as well. So just sometimes they say we're a little weird when we're entrepreneurs. That's just my way of going on the method of attack, because of even though it's not so much seeing somebody who's maybe a 6 or 7 figure earner, and again, their income, their results are not typical. So again, Sarah, income disclaimer. The thing is, I love to see those type of motivational quotes. It's not so much a high figure earner. It can be any person, any business partner. That personally attracts me. So I know if it attracts me, guess what? It's going to probably attract the people within my target market. You see what I'm saying? You got to know your target market as well, too. And this is something, again, to once you're done with your work, if you choose to, and I'm kind of now going a little bit left field. If you choose to, you can do something such as that, though. But it was kind of like, some people are thinking, oh, man, you're wasting time on Facebook. Or am I? That's another clever way to go about that. Another person I like to also pay attention to as far as sharing, good information. Paul Hutchins. We had him a few months ago as well on our panel as well as a guest. And he has some great quotes as well, always continue to grow. And again, as we should, as people in the home-based business profession. And that's another 6-figure earner as well. The point is, if you choose to use some of those quotes, people love that. It sticks out more so, something positive. We live in a naked world. That's what Zig Ziglar said in his book, See at the Top. And it's true. When we used to have something like that, it sticks out, it's like, whoa, that's pretty cool. That's a good way to now get some eyeballs to whatever your content is as well. So I want to share that real quick as far as that's another way as far as using your income, as far as income producing activities within business as well. So I had to share that. I don't know if you found the information you're looking for, Patricia, did you, or not yet?
No, I didn't. Well, we can go to Facebook and you can type it. Well, actually, I went to Google and it took me to kill the news feed, but there isn't anything really significant there. So if someone wants to really research that, there's some other stuff that I didn't have time to look for. But basically, just turn away from that. Like I said, turn off the chat. And you don't have to look at the news feed at all. That should be a discipline that you have to learn. And just when you're on there, just stay on your page or pages or groups and do what you need to do in those, and continue to do the work that you have to do. And then that's it, basically.
Oh, another thing too, as we still stand on this one point, as far as time needs to be focused, no distractions. You don't have to respond to every notification that pops up on that little left side on Facebook. Obviously you're hanging around Facebook a lot, but this obviously goes for any other, social media platform. Again, Twitter, Google Plus, Instagram, whatever. We're just not just saying just talk about Facebook. We're obviously saying Facebook, just obviously talking about in general all other social media platforms, because some people get caught up in that. Oh, I got to respond to this. I got to respond to this email. As far as that, again, going back to what we mentioned earlier, another leader we're talking about, Miss Tracy Walker. She mentioned something like this as well before in like a training I saw, I think a year and a half ago. As far as you don't have to respond to everything, you don't have to respond to every email either. Once you're done with that work, that's why I mentioned earlier. Close that tab. You're done. Go to the next page. Get that work out of the way. Boom. You close it. You're done. Go to the next tab. So now you're a little bit more efficient what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? So there's also something to keep in mind tremendously, because if you're people like us, Patricia and I have well over 1,000 people on Facebook, well over. She has a lot more than I do. So, I mean, trust me, as far as distractions there, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But I mean, again, that's why you always have to come back to how badly do you want your purpose to get accomplished? You know, how badly do you want to get to it? That's what's going to help you, help drive you toward it. Some people are always like, oh, man, I got to figure out something like this. Oh, how am I going to make the time? But, well, you know, if you're, again, go back to those people that are really busy. If you're commuting to work, here's another good way to help bring some more content out for you. And I'm not going to, as far as tell you exactly what type of content, because it's on you. Whether you choose to maybe do a post, share a quote, or, you know, do a blog post, do a video. The thing is, if you are continuously listening to audios, like if you're in the car, stuck in traffic, oh man, you're talking about a great time right there as far as the audio filling up the information. I remember also too reading the same book Zig had wrote, talking about, you know, see at the top. He mentioned something as far as when you're listening to audio on commuting, that's the equivalent, and this is mind-boggling when I read this. That's the equivalent as a 2-year degree in college. I was like, you got to be kidding me. It can be ranging from like, you know, anything from maybe from 10 minutes to 20, maybe more, depends on how you commute this. But, you know, you can continue to listen to the information of that successful person speaking. There you go. Now you're getting some information as far as, okay, it's some type of content to share or whatever. And you also get to listen to the way they speak as far as the different language patterns and everything. That's pretty cool as well. But it's just mind-boggling when you actually realize that, as far as like, man, if I continue to listen to this, let's say I'm listening to some type of audio 20 minutes a day. Okay, maybe if it's 5 times a week, that's 100 minutes in the week. You gotta think about it. That's almost 2 hours. We're not even counting the weekends. So some people want to go and choose to rest or whatever. That's fine. Me personally, I'm 7 days a week. So, and I just love listening to it. You know, you have to find something that you truly do like and love. I'm a huge Robert Kiyosaki fan. So his Rich Dad books I've read. I'm on my 18th book reading right now of his, and several of them I've read 2 or more times. So, you know, I love reading those type of books. Some people love the Tony Robbins. That's an excellent one too to listen to as well, because it's kind of funny. Who was he mentored by? Somebody by the name of Jim Rohn. You see where I'm coming from as far as these type of people? They say success leaves clues. And you notice what we're saying too as we're talking about all this information, as far as like, yeah, this person who was a 6-figure earner in our community, this person who was a 7-figure earner with our community, success leaves clues. So this is the reason why we're sharing these tips. And it's funny because we've only got over 3. We have a whole lot more too, which we will get into. But you know, for those that are the business owners, you know, those that really want to go make it happen, they have that great idea they want to go on the attack on. You know, keep on, you know, making the list of the activities that you got to get done. You know, you got to get them done. And even if you're procrastinating, I know it's in the back of your mind. You know, this is that regret of not reaching the goal, which is always kind of like really painful at times to us. And then, you know, going to find the time within your day. Again, this is even for people, if you have an hour in your day, this can still be effective for you. And, you know, this can still be very effective for you. You can, maybe you just got started yesterday and you're like, let's see, I know I can put this many hours in or whatever. Okay, that's fine. But guess what? You can still make the time to get the stuff done what we're sharing. It's really not much. And then obviously we're saying, make sure your time is focused with no distractions. And again, go back to the people that are really busy. You know, the part-timers, that's what we're trying to get to. You got to treat this like a job. Some people will work harder in a job than they do of the business. It should be the other way around. It's like when you work harder in your business than you do your job. At first, I know personally, when I first heard that, I'm like, huh, what are you talking about? That kind of threw me off, because I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a big work harder on your business than your job. I'm like, no, you need my money from a job that, what I'm saying, produced it. But no, what they really mean by that is as far as really working on yourself, number one. And then number two, because if you're trying to get to the lifestyle you're trying to get to, if you're trying to maybe just get just a little bit more money just to pay the bills, if working extra overtime, that whatever you're working at is not really working, that should be telling you something. It's trying to think of another way as far as, and you might already have another way. You just need to just go and just put the pedal to the metal. That's why we're just listing these out for you. Keep in mind, I know Patricia, you have some other ones too that are just as good as well, as far as like even the health, as far as just to really balance this all out, because we do need a balance. And that can't just be everything about business. Again, we're entrepreneurs, so we're going to be a little bit, weird in a sense. But I mean, there are people that want to have prioritized as far as sleeping and the time to eat, whatever. And I know you had a great list too before we were live, so you can go ahead and share that off if you want to.
Okay. I am. I was still trying to look for something. Okay, because I have this list right here, and let me find it. And I will read off some things. So that's why I said at the beginning of this that we should take notes or have some notes about this, because let me go here. Quick tips, right? And there's many tips, different ideas that people have, but things that are tried and true can work. We know that we have to create a plan. We know that you can't build a house if you don't have a blueprint, right? You can't have a successful laid out plan, or house, I should say, if you don't have that blueprint. You can't give it to the architect or the builders to do it if you don't have the architect. So that is the one thing you need. You have to plan your day before it even unfolds. I know sometimes I'm laying in bed, okay, I got to make my list, or sometimes you can make the list of what you have to do before you go to bed. But you get up and after you pray, have your cup of coffee, take a shower and exercise, then you have to make a list. So you can do it in the morning, or even better, like it says, the night before you sleep, right? Just what I said. Hey, I didn't even know she was going to say that, but I'm getting this information from a blog here called Lifehacks, lifehack.com. And the second thing was peg a time limit to each task. And you talked about that, Andre, and we just did too. You set an hour. Some tasks you can do in 5 minutes, some things you can do in 15 minutes, some you can do in half an hour, and some you can do in an hour. And then, of course, which ones that may take you all day, but you still have to prioritize those things, right? Use a calendar. I have a calendar. We have Google Calendar on our computer, and I have a calendar right here. It's I just go to the 99-cent store and I get a calendar. 2006. It's a monthly planner that I have, that I use, and you can use these to write down what you want to do each day. This one happens to be a little small one. The sections are small. Sometimes you can get a whole planner that is about as big as this or something, or even bigger, with maybe just the day on there, and do day by day, week by week, whatever it is. Then use an organizer too, similar to a calendar, but an organizer to organize everything, and your projects and other miscellaneous items that you want to put on there, a to-do list. And then know your deadlines. If you have any deadlines, make sure that you get those done. It says, when do you need to finish your tasks, right? Mark the deadlines out clearly in your calendar and organizer, so you know when you need to finish them. And of course, we all have a mental notes. We know when everything has to be done, but sometimes we don't do them because we haven't planned this out properly to get these deadlines done. Learn to say no. That I think is the biggest one. And it's kind of hard. Say for instance, we work at home, so I don't have any children, but we have entrepreneurs that have children. And I know one girl, her name is Michelle. Michelle is helping out our owner of the company there, and she had children. And she said the way that she did that was to go into a room where her computer was and where her desk was, and she closed the door. Now, when she had done that on a regular basis, and she had told her children, now when you see my door closed, obviously I'm working and I'm busy. If there's something that's really important and you need mommy, you can knock, but let me have this time when my door is closed. And then talking about setting a deadline, she would maybe take an hour and then go out. Don't completely be in there locked in for 8 hours, especially if you have children. You have to go see what they want. So that's a great time to set a deadline. Okay, I'm going to finish this. Maybe your work is not done for that particular task, but you take a little break, you go out, see what the kids want, or maybe a phone call that you have to make or something, and then come back and do your task. So learning to say no is very important. Target to be early. When you target to be on time, you're either be on time or late. So most of the times you'll be late. Okay, so try to, if you have an appointment, try to be as early as you can. And for your deadlines, submit them earlier than required. If there's something that you have to get in, don't wait till the last minute. I know sometimes that's what we do, like, it's like, we procrastinate. It's the old procrastination game. I know I have something that I need done, and I had almost a month and a half, and now I still have another week to get it done, but I've got to cram and get it done today. Something that I do. It's not about my online business. It's something totally different. It's a personal thing. I have a talk that I'm going to be giving, and I need to get that done and submit it because someone else is participating in it. So I definitely have to get that done. Time box your activities. This means restricting your work to X amount of time. Read about this here. There's a particular thing that they want you to click on in this particular website, and I didn't get a chance to read that. So we can come back to that maybe next week and find out what they suggest. But have a clock visible, placed right before you. So you think you have so much time. I know I've been on the computer, like we said, we can get on Facebook and are like, oh, I just want to spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And the next thing you know, an hour has gone by. And you're like, what happened to the time? Because you weren't looking at the clock. If you have it visibly, I know I have on my computer, I have a clock up here. It's in the bar, what is it, the task bar, but it's so tiny, I can't see it. So if I had a big, and then I must admit, I do have a big clock on my wall, except for I forget to look at it. So we have to be conscious of the time. If we could place one right before me on my desk, that might, or even if it goes tick, 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 one of those wind up clocks where you actually hear it ticking away, that might be beneficial because these silent clocks don't help me, right? Set reminders, like I said, 15 minutes before. Most calendars have a reminder function. If you've an important meeting to attend, set an alarm 15 minutes before. I have to set mine, honestly, an hour before I have to go anywhere. Otherwise, 15 minutes not going to get it for me. Focus. Are you multitasking so much that you're just not getting anything done? As they say, women are bad at this because I won't say we're bad at it. We're kind of gifted because if you are a woman that has children, you know that you have to multitask. You do set priorities. If the baby's diaper needs changing, you definitely have to go take care of that. You can't procrastinate, or if the baby's crying, you do have to get up and, feed the baby and do things like that. But then we tend to multitask. You've seen maybe pictures where they've got the baby in one hand, they're cooking in another, the child, the younger toddlers are pulling at the mommy's skirt or apron, and she's, like I said, answering the phone at the same time, or cleaning and dusting. So we have to multitask, but sometimes it's not beneficial because you're not getting really anything done. You're getting parts of it done, but you're not completing any particular one task. So even though multitasking may be a gift, if you know how to manage that, that would be fine. But usually it says focus solely on what you're doing. You'll be more efficient that way. Block out distractions. Like I said, again, how do you do that? If you have to go into a room by yourself, if you have to shut off the phone, we've all got our cell phones. And then when you are on Facebook, you get the little dings and stuff. Turn off your chat. Whatever it is that's distracting you, just eliminate it. Text messages popping up, whatever. So the only times when I log on, it's when I'm not intending to do any work. So otherwise it gets very distracting, and we don't want that to happen. Like I said, phone calls, everything. I always have my phone on vibrate, and you don't have to run to the phone anymore just because it rings up. They invented messaging, leave a voicemail. Those people will leave a voicemail, and make sure you do go back and get it, because somebody could be calling. That's important, an emergency or something like that. Now, there are times when you can't block out distractions. And I know we have a book club for my team that I wanted to get on this book club yesterday, and I couldn't because the doorbell rang and our neighbor came and she needed some help. She thought that she have emergency. My husband and I, helped her, but those kind of distractions are going to happen. But if it's just a minor distraction, just let it go. You don't even need to bother, right? Track your time spent. There is something called an egg timer. Let's set that thing and let that go off. And it says here, you key in the amount of time you want it to track. Example, 30 minutes or an hour. We've talked about that before. And it will count down in the background. When the time is up, the timer will be. Great way to be aware of your time spent. Like I said, I need something audible, to go off for me that, oh, that's it, time's up. Let's move on to something else. Don't fuss about unimportant details. You're never get anything done in exactly the way you want it. So trying to do so is being inefficient. So we know that if you're a perfectionist, that's fine to a point. But if you want every little detail to be, done right, it's just not going to happen. We live in an imperfect world. I'm not negating perfection, but, we're imperfect. So let it go and just, try to do the best that you can do with what you have. Prioritize. Since you can't do everything, learn to prioritize the important and let go of the rest. Apply the 80-20 principle, which is a key principle in prioritization. Read more about that it also gives us another site to go to. But anyway, we know that prioritize what's important. 80% of what is important, all the little non-fluff stuff, 20%, just let that go. Delegate. That's a biggest thing. I know when I was a fashion designer, we have so many facets and so many things to do to get a line out. And I'm the designer, but I can't sit and do the patterns. I can't sit and sew. I can't go and do the shipping. We have departments for all of that. So I would be the designer. I have my tasks, which is to design, go see the fabrics, go shopping the stores and getting my creativity designed out doing my vision board for what my line is going to look like for that time, but I can't sit and make patterns. I can't do the cutting. I can't do that. I can, if you're a small operation, that is fine. You know, you're going to be doing all that, but we had an 60 to 80 piece line to get out every single season. I couldn't possibly do all of that. So that's what we had departments for. And even I had to have an assistant. So you have to learn to prioritize, give them the things that they need to do. Trust the people that you have, that you can delegate this stuff, that they'll get the job done. So sometimes it's hard for me. It was hard for me to give up some of the tasks, but I can't do everything. So learn to do that. Batch similar tasks together. For related work, batch them together. For example, my work can be categorized into these core groups: writing articles, my upcoming book, coaching, writing articles. Number 2, coaching. 3, workshop development. 4, business development. 5, administrative. You know, so if you batch those things together and prioritize those, you can get those things. Because actually every day there should only be maybe 3 to 5 things that are really important, and then you can put in those categories to do. Like, for instance, if you're writing an article or a book, or like we have a blog that if you click the link below, you can also have a blog, and like we do, and get your information out there. Coaching, and you can coach, you know, whether it's whatever medium you want to do. I like to somewhat coach on my articles that I do, but blogging, on my blog, but also do videos. That's what I like to do for that. But let's go to eliminate the time wasters. We know we talked about that already. Facebook, Twitter, email checking. Now, I have a ton of emails. Like all of us. So I just click, like I'll type in the subject, whatever it is, or whoever sent me the email. And unless it's super important, I just click delete. All of them, I could get rid of 100 emails all at one time, you know, or whoever had sent me the emails. If I'm not actively looking at them or looking for something important, that's what I do, because I don't have time to read all of them. And then cut off when you need to. Number 1 reason why things overrun is because you don't cut off when you have to. Don't be afraid to intercept in meetings or draw a line to cut off. Otherwise, there's never going to be an end, and you'll just eat until into the time for later. So remember to do that, and leave buffer time in between. So in between each task, so you don't get run down and tired out, try to leave 5 to 10 minutes in between each task, so that, you know, it gives your brain a little bit of time to detach from what you were previously doing, that task, to move on to the next task. You can free your mind up for that and do other things. Maybe go get stand up, move around, get a drink of water, a cup of coffee, go to the bathroom, maybe an energy bar that you might need to refresh yourself. So that's a few things that I have here. That was about 20 tips right there from Life Hacks. And Life Hacks in Business. It's going to prioritize what we need to do in life, you know, as far as us being entrepreneurs. So that's what I have, Andre.
Yeah, that was great too, what you read, because also keep in mind when she shared all that, it's not just business only, as we also mentioned earlier. You can also apply that if you're somebody who wants to lose weight, somebody who wants to get into a habit of maybe exercising more, somebody who wants to maybe spend time more so with family, as she mentioned a little bit as well. You know, you can apply that to really anything. And again, we're also talking to those people, as we keep on saying, those people that are real busy. We understand, but at the same time, we're trying to also emphasize this, you know, going to prioritize your time. And we make that several times already this evening, as far as, you know, not basically letting distractions almost be like, oh no, this is my actual work. No, no, no. You know, we have mentioned social media, but it's a time and place for as far as getting some stuff done, as far as getting your work done. You know, Patricia mentioned something that I know we had talked about in our previous hangout, as far as like once you're done with your work, you're done with it. That's no different from, let's say, if you go ahead and get your content out. Let's say you did a blog post or did a video, you have it posted, and you're trying to check like literally the next second to see if you got a comment, like, or shit. Don't worry about it. Walk away from it. You know, she just mentioned, you know, give your time, bring time to think, relax, whatever. And really, all this stuff that we're sharing, it really does not take that much time. You know, it's Henry Ford said it best. You know, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. This can really be really easy if you choose to make it. So, and this is for somebody who's really busy. I know when I first got into the profession, I knew a couple who, I kid you not, had about, they had to have somewhere between 8 to 10 kids, and they were leaders in, in the company I was a part of before it shut down. They made it happen. And as far as, you know, get to the cruise, go to some of the company vacations. This is a company before I joined the community we're a part of. This is years ago. So I mean, you know, as far as, you know, excuses, you know, we can use them as far as, you know, to justify stuff, but at the same time, are we going to get anywhere? So, you know, that's an excellent list that she had listed out as far as getting some stuff done. And hopefully that you're able to apply a lot of stuff too. And also you gotten back for what was shared. Don't comment below as far as you gotten some ideas picked up as well, because I like that too. The cool thing about something like that, once you get in the habit, you don't really think about it as far as, oh, how much time do I have or whatever. Yes, you might be one of the people that have to have it set at a calendar, planned out. You know, I know personally I'm such in a habit already doing stuff. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is going to get done before I fall asleep. By any means necessary sometimes, you know, if you want to get something really accomplished, you know, but that's something that I had to really work on as far as working on myself to make it a habit. So I didn't have to go into that, oh man, it's so hard as far as, oh, I don't know what to think about, I don't know what to talk about, and hogwash. It goes back to, again, what we shared earlier. What you listen to, what are you reading? Are you doing it daily? You do it daily, you're going to have unlimited amounts of content. There's always something to talk about. You might be wanting to be talking about what's going on through, let's say, the news, whatever. You might want to counter that as far as like when the news wants to talk about negative, you want to go ahead, share something about that, but then talk about the positive as far as something, or maybe counter it with some type of a positive, whatever message, whatever you choose to. And you want to go do that way as well. As we mentioned earlier, we do have our own blog platform below. So you can go, once you go to the Yes Let Me In for $17 for a 2-week trial, to pick up your blog theme and then go share whatever you like to share, whatever your message. As we mentioned, you can put a video on there. You can go and share some whatever information, whatever's on your, your mind, heart, or maybe you might be another part of another company. You want to just go share information about that. Either or, guess what? Now that's content. It's your own home base to share this information. So, when you have all this other social media and they have all the terms and conditions, nothing against them, guess what? This is your own platform. So if something happens with any other social media platform, your blog post is right there. People can go back to that for days, weeks, months, years down the road, as long as you choose to keep it up. So something to keep in mind too, as well, as far as, putting information out there too, and making a priority. Some people see it as a journal or a diary, or this get ways of information. This so people can find you, can relate to you, see what you're all about. So something to keep in mind too. And again, we look forward to locking arms with you too. And again, if you got value for what shared, yes, comment below. As we also mentioned too, actually it said earlier, there's no right or wrong way to doing this. It's how you choose. Your hour could be in that early morning before you go to work, or maybe in the evening, because we understand you might be a single mother. We understand that you got to really handle some other stuff, and this is something that Patricia, I'm glad she pointed out too, as well, as far as you do have to multitask in that sense, but at the same time, if you do have that strong purpose, and obviously it should be for your kids. I'm just going to assume that, let's say it is. You're going to find a way to make it happen if it's for your kids. No ifs, ands, or buts. We're not going to talk about if it's not. We already know. I'm just going to go with the assumption. If you have kids, or maybe you're a single dad or whatever, it's like, or a parent in general, okay, I'm doing this for my kids. So that really puts that's a whole different mind shift in itself once you really think about that. As far as going back to what we said earlier, purpose. Look at those little ones, or maybe they're teenagers, or maybe they're adults. Still should be a driving purpose. Something to keep in mind. Hopefully that you got value as far as breaking out these different ways as far as time management, so you're not all over the place. Keep in mind too, just make sure that you're focused on what you're doing. Distractions are going to come, but again, when it comes back to how serious you're trying to get whatever you're trying to get done, you don't have to worry about anything. Don't know if you had anything else too you want to share as well, Patricia.
Well, just the fact that time management, like I said, is very hard. And it's only hard if you never try to implement a plan. Back to the beginning, having that plan, having a blueprint to do it. Get a notepad, a schedule, a calendar, anything like that to set it up and make your to-do list. I've always done that because life is overwhelming. And if you don't do something like that, then you're never going to get it. I won't say you're never going to get anything done, but it's going to be a little bit harder to get stuff done. And once you can focus on a clear laid out plan to do everything that you need to get done during the course of the day, the week, the month, then when you look back on it, you're not going to have any regrets because you know that it was a well thought out plan and you got your task done. So like I said, and being an entrepreneur, you basically have your own business. And if that's not organized, then it's going to fail. It's going to fail. And you're not going to reach the satisfaction level that you had or you want to have. You'll get discouraged. And that's one thing. We have forces against us that kind of say, oh, what are you in that for? That thing will never work. Or have you made any money yet? Or, that type of thing. So, you have to let all that negativity go and focus on what you really have to do in your business so that all those naysayers eventually will see, oh yeah, she did have a plan. It did work. And look at her now. So yeah, that's all, or him now. And when you guys join us for business, we help you do that. We help you lay out a plan to make it a successful business. And there's all kinds of groups again that we can join. Now that could be a distraction too, because I know I do have a group, but it's not really a distraction. We keep up with our groups because that's where we learn things. We learn things from other people. And having a group, I know I'm on the 8FM team group, and we have tasks in there. I am a little behind already because we have a 30-day video challenge, and I think they're on maybe day 15 and I'm on day 9. And so I've said to myself, I'm going to put that in my schedule to do my video. I'm going to do now 2 or 3 videos after this so I can catch up with the group. I'm still not going to be up to the 15, but I will be catching up. I have a plan. And I'm putting that in my list, and I'm going to get it done. And I'm going to do my 3 videos before I have to stop. I'm going to give myself an hour to do those 3 videos. And then I'm going to stop, and I have a friend who's in town that I want to go visit this evening. She's leaving on Sunday. And see, that's a personal thing. We have to fit business in with personal. And we have to have the personal. We have to know when to take a break to be able to enjoy life and to visit friends and with friends and family as well. Don't just, shun them. Although, like I said, you could close the door, do your work and everything, and then you get out and you do what you have to do, because that's what entrepreneurship is about. Actually, we want that time freedom. And if we don't have that time freedom, then what are we doing the business for? Right?
Yep, that is so true. That is so true. I don't have anything else to add on to that. So you got that again for what we shared. It's comment below, and look forward to seeing you inside. So with that being said, we will see you at the same time, same place next week. Whether it be 6 p.m. Eastern time or 3 p.m. Pacific time. See you then.
Peace.